Everybody, is Jeremy. Welcome back to Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. This is our Beast Tamer Bard build, episode 260. 260. Okay. We have been talking with Arilu, Vorlesh, and Nocticula. A lot of really interesting lore. We're going to keep going through all of these questions, and then once we get the other side, we're probably going to do a save, and we're going to go back, and we're going to flip through everything real quick, and try to see if we can get the Hand of Inheritor to not abandon us. But I don't know if we'll be able to do that, so let's see. I killed Willowdust, your court mage. Oh no. Nocticula shows no hint of sadness. I am aware of this, of course. It is lamentable in a way, since his fear for me was strong enough to make him impeccably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. I want to inform you of treason. Yo! Nocticula looks quite amused. Is that so? Who is it you've decided to inform on? And more importantly, how did you learn of these traitors and how credible are these accusations? Shamira is researching Nahindrian crystals in secret. Perhaps she's planning to overthrow you. A smile appears on Nocticula's lips. How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I do wonder, however, did you really think I was unaware of this? Or did you merely want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I will take this as proof that I can rely on you. Wow. You are very astute to uncover Shamira's desire to dethrone me, and it was particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets of the Nahindrian crystals. I suppose your caution calls for a reward. Ooh, at the snap of Nocticula's fingers, one of the servants approaches you and presents you with a delicate package wrapped in a gossamer-like silk. Aspect of the Asp. Mining Nahindrian crystals is a surefire way to sink the island of the crystals are on to the bottom of Ishiar. I assume you understand why all who attempted to procure them on Alinthia were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamira about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burrowing under my capital. Why do you still tolerate Shamira? Someone has to deal with trivial matters. Shamira's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just as Zephyrians before her. The second always dreams of rising to be the first. I know the feeling well. A friend of mine, the storyteller, has peered into the future. In his vision, Hepzimira was sending demons after you. The demons were strengthened by Nahindrian crystals. A hint of dangerous excitement creeps into her voice. You are a font of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetites. The ambitions of that brat, or her lecherous goat of a sire, were bound to surface sooner or later. But your warning will encourage me to keep a closer eye on her. You could have gone to Hepzimira with this and received a payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. Secret ingredient? Okay, fuck it. We're all in on telling shit. The helmsman of the bone ship in Alashinira's port is a manifestation of Nahindri. He's looking for Nahindri's greatest treasure, whatever that is. I've had my eye on that ship for a while now, and you've joined his hunt for no other reason than to tell me about it, I'm sure. Nocticula chuckles. Still, you've made the right choice. Keep working for that parody of Nahindri. I'll find you when your search nears its conclusion. Is that everything I wanted to say? That's some pretty cool shit, honestly. I want to ask you about other powerful denizens of the Abyss. Are you interested in one of my servants? Or do you wish for me to tell you something about your enemies? What's your relationship with Arilu? She works for me, isn't it obvious? Lady Vorlesh is very talented. She may be the most brilliant and capable mind ever to come from your plane. And the guile she used to betray one demon lord master after another impressed me so much that I offered her the position of my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Vorlesh. I plan to keep it a secret for a while longer. Betrayal is too strong a word. I opened the path to Golarion for those two, and I told them how to extract power from Nahindrian crystals. That will suffice. It doesn't bother you that Arilu serves another master? I'm not prone to jealousy. Let Daskari think Lady Vorlesh serves him still. His bug brain seems incapable of sensing betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled Daskari that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right under his snout. In truth, Lady Vorlesh's loyalty is mine alone. Loyalty is for fools. Shared interest, that is what rational minds rely upon. That and fear. No one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadow. How did Arilu become your servant? When the world wound was first opened, it only led to Daskari's realm. But then, there was another, more powerful breach. The wound expanded, and its paths now passed through my realm, and Baphomet's as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Isles were soon overrun with agents from my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, burrowing greedily into my rocks, stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one Arilu Vorlesh. She was the one who discovered the energies of Nahindrian crystals. I had captured her, and was about to carry out her agonizing execution, when Lady Vorlesh offered me something I desired even more than her death. She entered my service, and her main task since then has been to close the world wound. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and Daskari, and their slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my islands with such ease. Do you remember the elven archmage who used to serve you thousands of years ago? He's still alive. We know each other. Really? He was well past his youth even back then. And now, just how old is he? Can mortals even live that long? Well, apart from your immortal Aslanti. Say hello to him on the behalf of the Lady in Shadow, and tell him that the one who replaced him disappointed me immensely with his incompetence. No matter how hard he tried, he could never live up to my magnificent elf. Aww. You know, you've managed to surprise me. A rare occurrence for someone who knows just about everything. With the bat of her eyelashes, Nocticula sends you a piercing gaze, one that feels like it's delving into the deepest corners of your soul. Are Baphomet and Daskari your allies? The Goat and the Locust. Allies is too strong a word for our relationship. Our connection was forged by circumstance, not out of a desire to deal with one another. When the world wound opened, it tied your world to our realms. I did not join my armies with theirs, but I was forced into making peace with them so as to not get bogged down into tiring and distracting war. If I had the opportunity, I would have met them on my terms and expanded my territories at their expense. Nocticula indulges herself with a thin smile. Unfortunately, this is not currently possible. By the way, one of them came to me with the offer of an atrocious alliance that involved conceiving little ones together. I'm still contemplating the specifics of my refusal. It needs to be clear and unambiguous. Her ensuing laughter is deep and musical, almost enchanting. Everything is clear to me now. My god, there's so much information! It's really cool information, but there's so much information! I want to know more about you. Recounting my whole story would take longer than your brief mortal life allows. The list of demon lords I've slain is endless on its own, as is the number of islands under my rule. And that's just the past. There's always my future. How did you become a demon lord? Bear in mind that I have always been unique ever since I was born. I was the first succubus of the Abyss, the perfect specimen of my race. I had been enjoying my youth, sharing it with my brother and lover, until the hungry gaze of the demon lord Nahindri fell upon me. That greedy tyrant saw me as a jewel to be added to his treasure hoard. He tried to abduct me. I knew I had no chance of defeating a demon lord. But in that moment, I was not thinking at all. I was fighting for my freedom. When it was all over, Nahindri was dead. I eviscerated him, and for many days afterward, blood spewed from his open carcass. First, his body turned to stone, and then his blood, which had been flowing like a stream, began to crystallize into massive purple glaciers. Now, do you see why they're called Nahindrian crystals? Perhaps they should be called Nocticulan crystals, because as Nahindri's blood crystallized, so too did my understanding of my power. Soon after, I began my campaign of conquest. I was cunning and swift, and the demon lords themselves trembled before me, knowing I could take their very lives. Only when all of the Abyss spoke my name with terror and reverence did I decide that I had killed enough. I had a realm. I had power I no longer shared with my brother. I had servants. And most importantly, I had safety. No one has ever repeated old Nahindri's mistakes. No one has tried to make me their slave. Are the Midnight Isles really the corpses of slain demon lords? Yes. My realm is quite literally built on the bones of my slain enemies. Ironic, isn't it? How did you turn the dead demon lords into islands? Nocticula responds with a mocking smile. Surely you don't expect me to reveal the secret to you. There is no need for mortals to learn the weaknesses of demon lords. All I can say is that everything started with my desire for revenge. After I had dealt with Nahindri, I was furious at the thought of that vile, lecherous wretch just teleporting over to the Rift of Repose, where he could turn to stone and stay there to rot for the remainder of eternity. I wanted to trample his foul corpse, to keep his bloodied body within my sight forever. I yearned to display my glorious trophy to all of the Abyss, and that's when my power first manifested. I studied my newfound abilities and learned how to use them. Before long, I possessed not just one island, but an entire archipelago. What do you plan to do next? Subdue all the Abyss? Possibly. Or perhaps I have something grander in mind. The Abyss. Who cares about the Abyss? Nocticula's full-throated laughter rings out like a challenge to the entire world. Ruh-roh, Raggy. I have more questions. It's always nice to indulge one's curiosity. Oh, God. I have a question. From her sleeve, Ninio produces a pencil and a piece of paper. Lady Nocticula, how many copulation partners have you had? I'm making a list for the encyclopedia, and I believe you may take one of the top spots. Why is that a list in the encyclopedia? Like, what the fuck, Ninio? Why? Why is that the list? What? Could be so many other things. Could be any of the lists that you're keeping. My God. Stila tries prodding Ninio's side, but not before the question is asked. For a few tense moments, Nocticula peers into Ninio's face and yours, then smiles with the slightest curve of her lips. What matters to me is not quantity, but quality. And I am well ahead of any other denizen of the Abyss in that regard. That is where we will end this discussion. It's gonna be like, you can count on hands the number of partners Nocticula has had. That would actually be surprisingly funny and amusing. Also, how's it going, Sam? If I am to depart for Colifere, your guards must watch over my camp in the Nexus and all who are residing there. Nocticula nods regally. I will send my assassins to ensure no harm comes to your entourage. Be grateful for my patronage, mortal. I still have business to take care of in Elushinera. Arilu, you are no longer needed here. Oof. As you will, my lady. Arilu vanishes, but you notice the look in her eyes. Pensive and appraising you. I'm telling you, right? Like, just as she holds no loyalty to Discari, or Baphomet. Arilu Vorlesh holds no loyalty to Nocticula. She maybe just respects and fears Nocticula more than she does Discari or Baphomet, right? But absolutely, it's not, oh, Nocticula's just the greatest. No, 100% not. Nocticula casts a piercing glance at the spot where Arilu was but a moment ago, then stops you with a commanding gesture. There is one more thing we must discuss. The Lexicon of Paradox, Lady Vorlesh's magical treatise that contains many secrets of the World Wound. You and my servant, Lady Vorlesh, were just talking about the Lexicon of Paradox. For many years, it has remained split in half, harmless. But what was once divided can be made whole again. Who knows what power the book could impart to its owner, if they expand the World Wound even further, or connect it to other planes. Not a chance. The Lexicon of Paradox has caused more than enough trouble already. You already possess the first half of the book. Find the other one and bring them both to me. I will reward you handsomely. Giving the book into my keeping will also protect Golarion from suffering a second World Wound disaster. The Lexicon of Paradox will be much safer under my watchful eye than in your travel bags, wouldn't you agree? Why do you need this book? One World Wound alone has been enough of a nuisance for me. I want to ensure that some future mage leafing through this book doesn't link my realm to another plane. I'll consider your offer. The reward will not disappoint you, I promise. This dangerous knowledge ought to be locked up securely. I won't keep you any longer. So I have business to take care of. You have taken a liking to my city, I see. Well, then savor it to the fullest, and then come back for the truly important business. Nocticula's lips part in a smile that is both predatory and alluring. Oh my god! Ah! We are going to save game, and this is going to be joined Nocticula, basically. Hiya! Okay, I wanna check some stuff real quick. We got some things, newest to oldest. We got the aspect of the asp. Amulet in a form of a snake grants the wearer +2 DC on poison spells. All ray spells deal an additional 1d6 plus 5 points of acid damage. That's not that much, but could be good, right? So for example, right, like Ember is currently using the Amulet of Blackened Mirror. She could use the aspect of the asp to add a little bit of extra acid damage. The only thing is most demons have acid resistance, so this probably isn't going to do that much, but it could. So that's something potentially interesting. And then the other thing is secret ingredient info. Once per day. Okay, so personal usable item, charges 1, caster level. Once per day, you may use this ability to make all potions used by your party empowered and maximized, as though using the empower spell and maximize spell or maximize feats for 1 minute. All variable numeric effects of the empowered spell are increased by half, including bonuses to the rolls. All variable numeric effects of the spell modified by this feat are maximized. We don't use a lot of potions, so I don't know that this really matters for us, but that is a really interesting item. Okay, let's load it up. That was 30. No, that was an hour. No way. Yeah, it's almost been an hour and a half. We almost all of that lore took almost an hour and a half to get through. Holy shit. Like an hour and 15 minutes. But still, damn. Really cool stuff, though. Really, really cool stuff. Alright, we're going to snag, run in. Great.
Greeting. Great.
Lady Arilu, allow me to express my deepest admiration of your work, and may I just ask...
The suit you have...
I was like, there's gotta be...
Your power was my gift. Now you know.
I'm actually gonna say, I'm gonna resist, right? Like, we don't... this is the one where we're like, we want the Hand of the Inheritor to stay with us. So, you won't make me believe this lie.
And what do you believe? That your power comes from Iomade or one of the other gods?
Yeah.
Ah, such special memories. Remember the laboratory, do you?
Dang. The unseen angel does not speak, but his silence seems to thunder in your ears.
Your power is of the... But there is more.
Yeah, ouch.
This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. Very well, then. It was my no doubt you have... I'm sat in the... And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
As it turns out, you helped me thwart the plans of your masters, Baphomet and Tiscari.
They are not my masters. They are a resource. You always have to set... I see I am not the only one. Nahindri... Or rather, it was impossible until... Not just any creatures. Demons.
You done my soul.
Your soul. I changed myself by knitting my... All those arrogant crusaders. Both. And yes, because your power... You are seeking answers. Patience. Before
Refuse
we
the power.
continue, I want you to receive your power.
I won't eat out of your hand, Arilu, even if it makes me weaker. You channel all your power into these words, and strangely, you feel a surge of power within you in response. You turned down what Arilu Vorlesh offered you, and your whole being embraces that choice. A wave of cold washes over your chest, and the open wound becomes smaller. It doesn't fix. Becomes smaller, as if your decision compelled it to shrink.
That effect. How unexpected. It deserves to be studied, but I will see to that later.
Interesting.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. Oh, Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation.
You telling me you're mad anyways?
All your valiant deeds, your resistance in the face of temptation, it was all a deception? Curse the Abyss, and curse Alushanira, where even the most faithful lose their way, and lie, and commit treason.
Except
I must save those who can be saved, and break free from the kingdom of darkness.
I didn't take the power, though. What the fuck?
I want to help you close the world wound.
Greetings to you. It's nice. I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it. Such an I have had my...
You are...
It is a shame your angel has left you mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, because he charged off all alone into the vast envy. Perhaps he is a strict to the great. He's an in. Of course, not all your actions in my realm have been commendable. By destroying the flesh markets, you've harmed my city and You've just arrived in my realm. Another island, another loss. But I digress. I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will top... So... What is... What's that supposed to mean? What, you don't even know why you've brought her?
I like it.
So, what do you suggest I do, No?
Do you think...
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear.
Okay. What do I want to do? How do I feel? All right, let's go back through. This is gonna be I say this is gonna be the definitive edition, but I'm okay. The plan is to aim to try to be like, okay, now is the time. So let's see how this goes.
Lady Arilu, allow me to express my deepest admiration of your work, and may I just ask...
I do like being civil with Arilu Vorlesh.
The suture is my servant. You have... You are my creation.
Because here's the thing.
Your power was my gift.
I don't. So like, personal opinion so far as this has developed, right? Like from my take on the story and what I have experienced and what I know so far. Obviously, I don't know all of the details yet, but old Sarkoris they had a ban on arcane magic. They were horrible to their practitioners. They had a place where they locked people away and tortured them, right? And I believe that is where that's the fortress, the last place, that's where the Whirlwind was created by Arilu Vorlesh, and she did it, right, as, like, vengeance, to my understanding. I get, right, like, from the crux of the story that the world sees the architect of the Whirlwind as this abominable beast. But so far, I mean, we've seen her do bad things. Obviously, she has gone down a bad path, right? But I don't know if that's the true nature of the scenario, right? Like, I don't necessarily, like, blame her for causing the creation of the Whirlwind yet, right? I mean, obviously she is responsible, but she was doing it to try to, like, get back at the people who tortured her. So I'm like, fuck yeah, obliterate them. Okay, whoop, the obliteration went a little too far, right? Like, that's the scenario. So, I kind of like, or I think I might kind of like Arilu Vorlesh. Obviously, I like Nocticula because she's designed to be like, and she's way, way, way more likable than demon lords like Baphomet or Discari, right? But that's by design. She is still rotten to the core, maybe? Yes, probably, absolutely, right? So, like, I don't know. Anyways, the point I was trying to make there is I'm trying to, I think, not side with Arilu, but I do think Arilu is kind of like maybe the person we want to side with, when possible. But I don't know. I'm still very intrigued by the overall story. This is a really good story. This has really good writing, really good story, real personable characters. Love it. Let's say I believe you. Why do you need to do all this?
Your pop, but they're...
Okay. We're going to go through all of the dialogue.
This is very well, then. It was my mistake. No doubt you have... I'm a sot in the... And I also left you a present in my old laboratory. and told this. Certainly. You always have to. I see I am not the only one. Nahindra, or rather, it was.
Again, I'm choosing those options because I want to have a good rapport with the Rilu.
From the blood, not just any creatures. Demon. I wasn't a demon. I checked all those arrogant crews. Both. And yes, you are seeking an patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
I think I want to go with refusing the power. Specifically for this reason, right? The reason why it's not because I'm like, oh, taking the power is evil. Like, I don't give two shits about that, right? Not necessarily. Again, I think it's a power is power, you decide how to use it type scenario. What I'm interested in that we witnessed, right, is that if we don't take the power, our power builds from our own convictions. And that I think is really cool with the concept of the Azada path, right? Because they do seem so driven by freedom and their own free will and their own choice, right? So I think in doing that, we are, although like the Azada do tend to be more chaotic, right? It's that kind of concept of like, oh, I'll do whatever I want, right? Like, I'll take this power. I don't give two shits. I also think that there is an interest in the chaos of, like, I am above the power that you're offering. I don't need it. I've got this myself, right? There's something I feel like that clicks there for me in my head with the roleplay of the Azada. So we're going to refuse the power. I won't eat out of your hand, Arilu, even if it makes me weaker. Okay, so, all that happens.
How unexpected. It deserves to be studied, but...
And see, this is a very interesting reaction.
Enough! Enough of this madness!
And he gets mad.
I was blind. Oh, lady of all you...
I want to...
He get mad and he run away because he
Greetings to you.
silly.
It's nice. I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it.
We are gonna go with Calm. What's up?
I have had my eye on you for a...
You are wise.
It is a shame your angel has left you mortal.
The herald of that upstart goddess. Here.
Oh, Arilu couldn't see.
Yes, although his defenses were quite
Interesting.
intricate. A commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the echo of Discari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities. Perhaps you don't know, he is a stranger to the great envy. He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomade, of course not all your actions in my realm have been commendable, but you've just arrived. Another island. Yes, I have prepared a beautiful...
So, I'm happy with those. Go through Ember's stuff.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
So, where were we? My pain? What is the...
I've seen...
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
I love this. I'm just gonna shrug at her. I loved her reaction when we were just like, shrug.
What's that supposed to mean?
Love that.
You don't even know why you brought her?
Yeah, she asked, so I did. Welcome to being an Azada, where I just do things because I felt like it.
So, what do you suggest I do.
Really, Azada's
Beg the good gods forgiveness.
Azadas are like
Devote myself
good
to serving a
demons,
sword
right?
swinging upstart
Their
perchance.
motivation is just like, I do what I want when I want, but I'm good about it. Oh shit! All right, we gotta zoom through this.
No. Do you think she took my words to heart?
Who knows?
I suppose you're right.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
I love that reaction. Okay, so unfortunately this video does have to be a little shorter so that I can make sure that I get through a set number of videos tonight. That's going to be it. We're very close, I think, to the end of picking our full choices as we go through this Nocticula lore dump. Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're going to keep playing. If you're watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time for more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.